selfish. That's how I feel.
You're psychotic. How about that?
I'll take that. I'd rather be a psychotic than be a selfish.
Mama Jones just shocked everyone with what she said during a recent live stream. And trust me, this isn't your average reality TV gossip. This time, it's deeply personal and real. What she revealed wasn't about a fight on a TV set or some stage drama. It was something much heavier, something that's left fans stunned. And it all centers around one woman, Chrissy Lampkin.
I said, stop filming me.
I don't regret slapping the cameraman because the cameraman deserved what he got.
Okay. Stop filming me.
That's what you get from me. You get what you get.
If you're thinking this is just another love and hip-hop storyline, think again. This is way more serious. We're talking about secrets, emotional pain, illness, and a family struggling behind the scenes while trying to keep up appearances in front of the world. Let's take it from the top. Lately, fans have been wondering what happened to Chrissy. She used to be active on social media, sharing updates, posting stylish looks, and showing up at major events. But recently, she's been missing in action. At first, people thought maybe she was just stepping back for a bit. You know, taking a break from the spotlight? But as time went on, her absence became more noticeable and concerning. Chrissy, who was always confident and bold, looked completely different the few times she was spotted. Her face looked slimmer, her body smaller. She clearly lost a lot of weight, and fans started noticing that she wasn't looking like her usual self. But it didn't stop there. The wigs she wore started to look different too. Chrissy's always loved switching up her hairstyles, but lately the wigs seemed less like fashion choices and more like something she was using to hide. They weren't styled with her usual flair, and some fans said they looked thrown on like she was trying to cover something up quickly. Whispers started going around online. People asked, "Is she okay?" Some thought it might be stress. Others feared it was something more serious. But no one really knew what was going on. Everything changed when Mama Jones' Jim Jones' outspoken mother decided to go live on Instagram. And this time, she wasn't her usual loud and fiery self. Her voice was calm, serious, and full of emotion.
I think that she just runs from her problems that she and him having and the problems that she had with me. We have to somehow figure it out, try to get it back together.
Right from the start, she said she'd been holding something in for a long time. She said she didn't want to cause more issues between herself and Chrissy, but felt like she couldn't stay quiet anymore, especially with fans constantly asking where Chrissy was. Then, she dropped the bombshell. According to Mama Jones, she came across some medical documents, yes, real records, and what she saw made everything make sense. She claimed Chrissy had been quietly going through medical treatment. And not just for something minor. Mama Jones suggested that Chrissy may have been battling leukemia. Now, let's be clear, Mama Jones didn't say the word directly, but she strongly hinted at it. She said she saw paperwork that showed consistent hospital visits, treatments, and medical care that lined up with someone dealing with a serious illness. And this timeline matched up perfectly with when Chrissy disappeared from the public eye. Even more shocking? Mama Jones claimed that Chrissy never told Jim about any of it. According to her, Chrissy just left. No warning, no explanation, no goodbye. And she didn't just physically leave, she emotionally checked out too. While Jim was reportedly dealing with his own health issues, Chrissy quietly slipped away and said nothing. The part that really hit people hard was the emotion in Mama Jones' voice. She didn't sound angry, she sounded hurt. This wasn't her throwing shade. This was a mother who had been watching her son suffer and felt helpless. She said she kept this secret to herself for a long time, even though it tore her up inside. She didn't want to create more problems. But now, with the internet asking questions and fans demanding answers, she felt like she needed to speak. She said, "I saw it with my own eyes." She was going through something. But Mama Jones said Chrissy refused help. She didn't want to talk. She didn't explain anything. She just vanished. And if Chrissy truly is fighting something as serious as leukemia, it would explain a lot: the weight loss, the wigs, the vanishing from events. But it also raises a much deeper question. Why didn't she tell the man she's been with for over 20 years? Let's talk about Jim Jones. While everyone was wondering what was going on with Chrissy, Jim was going through his own storm. Sources close to the couple say that Jim found out about Chrissy's illness through other people, not from Chrissy herself. Imagine being with someone for 2 decades and then hearing from strangers that the woman you love might be seriously sick. That kind of news doesn't just hurt, it destroys trust.
So disgusted with her behavior, her lack of respect. Jimmy needs to step up and be involved and take stock in what's going on around him.
One person close to the situation said Jim was seen sitting in his car for hours after learning the news. Alone, silent, processing. Because to him, it wasn't just about the sickness, it was the fact that Chrissy never told him. She shut him out completely. No texts, no conversations, just distance. Insiders say Chrissy started sleeping in a separate room, barely said a word, and avoided eye contact. When Jim tried to ask what was going on, she pushed him away. She didn't let him in, and he had no idea why. For someone like Jim, who's always worn his heart on his sleeve, that kind of emotional wall was heartbreaking. Friends say he stopped showing up at the studio. He pulled away from everyone. He stopped laughing. He isolated himself. And when Mama Jones finally spoke out, it didn't make things better. It made it worse. Because now, the world knew something that had been kept from him. Now that the truth is, sort of, out, people are trying to figure out why Chrissy would keep something so huge from the man she's loved for so long. There are a few theories floating around, and they all say something about the pressure Chrissy might have felt. Chrissy's always been seen as strong, bold, and unbothered. In her mind, being sick might have felt like losing control. And when you've spent years fighting for respect, building your image, and holding your own in a tough industry, admitting you're sick might feel like letting your guard down. Let's be honest, Chrissy and Jim have had their ups and downs. There have been questions about his loyalty in the past. Maybe Chrissy felt like telling him she was sick would only push him further away. So instead of risking that heartbreak, she just shut down. Chrissy and Mama Jones have never had the smoothest relationship. If Chrissy opened up about her condition, she knew Mama Jones would be right in the middle, offering opinions, asking questions, and possibly making things harder. And maybe Chrissy just didn't have the strength for that kind of drama. Whatever the reason, one thing is clear: Chrissy felt alone. And instead of reaching out for support, she chose silence.
It was hurt that me and Chrissy didn't get along, because he knew in the beginning we did get along. But you know what? Time heals itself.
That silence didn't just hurt Jim, it shattered their entire household. Now, here's where things take a wild turn. Some fans are starting to ask a darker question: could Chrissy have been poisoned? At first, this sounds like a wild theory. But when people started connecting dots, the story started to get even more mysterious. Fans noticed that Chrissy's health started to decline around the same time Jim's ex, Tahiri Jose, popped back up in his life. Some say they started liking each other's posts, maybe even ran into each other at a few events. Others think they got a little too close. Chrissy and Tahiri don't have a public feud, but let's be real, no woman wants to see her man getting close to an ex. Especially not one with history. So when Chrissy suddenly started losing weight, acting distant, and disappearing, people started wondering if it was just stress or if something else was going on. Some even dug up old interviews where Tahiri joked about getting rid of the competition. It wasn't aimed directly at Chrissy, but the timing definitely raised eyebrows. Fans even started watching old love and hip-hop clips, looking for clues. Add that to the financial drama, and you've got a full-blown internet conspiracy. According to Mama Jones, she started noticing strange activity in Jim's bank accounts. Large amounts of money disappearing. Private payments. No explanations. She said she looked into it and found that some of the money was being used for Chrissy's private medical treatments. But some reports claim that money was also being used to keep certain doctors quiet, like hush money. If that's true, it raises another big question. What exactly were they trying to keep hidden? Mama Jones suggested that maybe Jim knew more than he was letting on. Maybe he didn't know everything, but enough to try and manage the situation quietly. But now, with the story out in the open, that plan is falling apart. And fans are wondering, was Jim trying to protect Chrissy? Or was he protecting someone else? Right now, everyone is watching Jim Jones. He's stuck in the middle of a very painful situation. He wants to protect the woman he's loved for years, but he's also feeling betrayed. And now, with the world watching and rumors spreading fast, he's under pressure to respond. People close to him say he's not doing well emotionally. He's been seen crying, avoiding the press, and skipping out on music events. Mama Jones is still speaking out, saying the truth needs to come out. She believes Chrissy is hiding too much, and Jim's silence is only making it worse. She says fans deserve answers. And that's what makes this whole situation so intense. If Jim defends Chrissy, he might end up hiding something serious. But if he tells the full truth, it could hurt Chrissy even more and damage his own image in the process. There are even whispers that VH1 and other media outlets are trying to get the full story. Whether Jim likes it or not, the spotlight is only getting brighter. So what do you think? Is this a heartbreaking story about illness and emotional distance? Or is there something darker happening behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And trust me, this story isn't over. Part 2 is going to take things even further. So make sure you hit that subscribe button because you won't want to miss what comes next.